I'm finishing my crackers before we start.
Is that where we're going with that one?
60, 59, 58.
This is a countdown
57,
to the Slade and Mayson
56,
Show.
55, 54.
This
53,
continues to be a countdown
52,
to the Slade and
51,
Mayson Show.
50, 49, 48.
You're listening to the
47,
countdown to the
46,
Slade and Mayson
45,
Show.
44, 43.
This is the continued
42,
countdown
41,
to the Slade and Mason
40,
Show.
39, 38.
Right now,
37,
you're listening
36,
to the countdown
35,
to the Slade and Mason
34,
Show.
33.
Please stand
32,
by as you are
31,
listening to the countdown
30,
to the Slade
29,
and Mason Show.
28, 27.
This,
26,
of course, the
25,
countdown to the Slade
24,
and Mason Show.
23, 22.
We continue
21
now with the countdown
20,
to the Slade
19,
and Mason Show.
18, 17.
Stand by
16,
as we are now
15,
delivering the countdown
14,
to the Slade and
13,
Mason Show.
12, 11.
Yes,
10.
This is our countdown
9,
to the Slade
8,
and Mason
7,
Show.
6,
Dave's not here,
5,
man.
We should do an extended
4,
disco
go.
version.
3, 2, 1.
And what other show is going to start you out with funny video jingle?
Now
There's that guy.
broadcasting
There he is.
from the Dan Mason Studios, deep in the heart of Virginia. It's the Slade and Mason Show.
Hi, I'm JD Slade.
I'm Dan Mason,
And this is the Slade and Mason Show.
Well, there we go. We've done it again.
Already it started.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I had to reboot my computer, and I think I lost my nose, but that's okay. That's okay. I think we can fill a full hour.
Oh, you think? Well, good morning, Mr. Mayson.
Well, good morning, Mr. Slade, and welcome to Sunday, July 7th. And before we get started, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. The Slade and Mason Show is all about you and us. It is like a radio program where
for us.
it's more like us. It's like a radio program where we share with
Uh,
you,
like a radio program.
but it's not a radio program. Well, first off, we're in two different states, kind of. I'm here in Virginia, and you're in a state of confusion. But anyway, so and it's like we get like news stories and things we see throughout the week, and it's our take on it. And basically, we're just saying the things you're thinking, but you would never ever repeat in public, nor would you hear on the radio. We're just having fun, so don't take it too seriously. Please enjoy, and special thanks to Dano Music. Don't forget to visit us on Instagram at the SladeandMasonShow.com or just Slade and Mason Show. Yeah, the Slade and Mason Show. And don't forget to tell your friends, neighbors, and cops. Okay.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, again, if you'll notice that my video this morning, it focused on some of our fine gear. Again, you want some of that gear? Talk to the guy on the other end of this line.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
Right on the bus, man. Boom.
All right, Ted, you know what that means. We just got to get our act together here somehow.
Yeah. Where is Ted, man?
It's right there. Right there.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Listen, hey,
He's got his-
Ted.
He's got a cup of coffee.
You're kind of slacking here, bro. I mean, I just wanted to point this out to you because here we're out here slaving in the hot sun here in Virginia, just trying to make this program successful, and you are just sitting on your can. Come on now, get up, roll your sleeves up.
I mean,
Keep it good.
I mean,
Just
we get it.
down in it. Just get the feel in the feel. Oh, sorry.
I mean, he is doing it out of the kindness of his own heart, but get on with it, Ted.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. All right. So but I guess I'll go ahead and get started here because this is the 4th of July weekend. Did you do anything special on the 4th?
Yeah, actually, some friends of mine had
You don't have any friends.
So some people I saw on the side of the street had some fireworks display. It was absolutely amazing. These were the quote unquote professional fireworks. What blows my mind away is these fireworks. They ran it like a finale,
right?
But it ran for 10 minutes straight. And I'm thinking, what? I don't know where these people get the money, but I think it's just the celebration of being in America. I mean, I know this one guy, he sings this stuff.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave.
So we won't. But anyway, so it better than Ethel Merman or whomever we got in trouble for the other day.
Oh, by the way, you'll have to tell that story very quickly.
Oh yeah. So I am now officially dedicated. I am posting every single one of the Slade and Mayson shows on the wonderful world of YouTube. Now, it took me a long time to figure out a way to do it quickly, because normally it was like an 8 or 10 hour process to get it done. Now I've got it down to about 10 minutes, which is great. So at 10 o'clock, you'll be able to enjoy the Slade and Mayson show online at YouTube or at olfw.com, either place. So what I did upload one of our older recordings, and it had what was her name? I can't remember. It was,
Kate Smith?
Kate Smith, yeah. Kate Smith with God Bless America. Now, I grabbed an
Regardless
old...
of how this racist, fat bigot is in your life right now, at one point, she was it, and she was the lady of patriotism.
Mm-hmm. Now, I grabbed, as you guys know, I grab these old 78s, and I play them. And YouTube, their algorithm actually picked her out, even off of a 78, and said, hey, just want to let you know, this has been claimed by, what such and such an organization, so you'll still be able to make revenue. We're not making any revenue. You'll still be able to make revenue, but we're going to have to share it with this other organization. And you, Mr. Slade, were singing a song by the guy who does Achy Breaky Heart. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus.
On another show. And you must have sung it for longer than 11 seconds.
Right.
Because I got another email from the wonderful world of YouTube, and it said, hey, that song, the remix version. I thought that was even funnier. Yeah. Oh, that was remixed. You singing it live. Got a notification. Hey, you can still have the video, but we're gonna have to share the revenue with this other company. I'm like,
well, I'll tell you what. I'm more than willing to share the revenue when the revenue starts rolling in.
Every penny, nickel, and dime. I'll tell you, that was funny. So yeah, you guys have that to look forward to. I know a lot of you guys don't do the podcast, but you do the YouTube videos. Great. Going forward, they're all going to be up on YouTube as well. So that's cool.
Oh, buddy, you know what that opens up the possibilities of?
Seeing pictures of us.
Video podcast, man. Man, it's like I am loving this show. I really am.
Oh my gosh. So you mean like with a camera?
Yeah. Hey, hey, you know.
Yeah, but I know you with technology, so that's what scares me.
Remember, I'm the one who got the extortion letter.
Yeah.
Yes, we have been watching what you've been watching, and you've been very busy.
I just love how, like, when you do a video, it's all dot matrix down to like 4 or 5 pixels back and forth. I think I can see his hat.
Yeah, well, okay. So modern technology is not my strength.
Yeah,
but
evidently.
I know how to focus and funnel around Facebook.
Oh my gosh. So what do you have a morning rant, or are we just going to let it roll?
I do indeed, but we got distracted, so I wanted to point that out. You see, again,
you're a grand old flag.
Yeah. I can't believe you, Mayson. All right. So, okay. So this past week, we celebrated the 200 and how many years has it been?
243.
How many?
243.
Hey, look, I was right on the money. Anniversary of the 243rd birthday of this great country that we live in, that we call the United States of Erect. So, of course, on the 4th of July, it was cookouts, it was fireworks, And then there was the one thing that marks the 4th of July that should make us so proud around the world that we are recognized for it.
Absolutely. Thunder and lightning storms.
No! The 2019 Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, Joey Chestnut, he is a marvel.
And I got all his albums.
The thing of it is that he says he gains 24 pounds doing this contest.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, he wanted to set the record, and which would have been 75. And he was so disappointed because he only got 71 hot dogs down. That's 71 hot dogs, buns, dipped in water.
That's like
71.
8 packages.
Now, there are a couple of ways to look at this. One, and oh, by the way, but they had a woman too. This woman, Mickey Sudo. Let's see here. She ended up eating 31 hot dogs.
Yeah. Why do they even mention it?
Well, here's the thing. This great country of ours, where we, of course, are living the dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, where everyone is equal, where everyone has an opportunity to be at the top of their game. Again, we also show that we are the most gluttonous society in the world. Because so 71 hot dogs that Joey Chestnut ate, the average person is going to eat 2, maybe 3, right?
Right.
So that means that there are 25 people who did not get hot dogs because of Joey Chestnut's greed and gluttony.
Okay. But here's my question. And this is a question we probably need to get him on the phone. Because it's something that's been bothering me and I'm thinking about.
God. We're in for it, ladies and gentlemen. He's been thinking about this.
I'm thinking the following day, I'm thinking, how do you flush that down?
And what a mess it must be.
It's got to be at least a 2-roller. I don't care if it's 2-ply or single ply. It's going to take.
I have eaten to excess, and thanks to, of course, some wonderful, wonderful natural products, I have been able to stuff my gullet until I was just almost sick. So I cannot imagine 71 hot dogs coming back.
Oh gosh! I don't know how people do it. I don't know. I just I'll eat like a big meal, like Thanksgiving, and I'm in pain, and the next day I'm like wow, So now this man eats the equivalent of 2 weeks worth of food in 10 minutes. His system has to go like, wow.
One of the most memorable scenes in the movie Cool Hand Luke.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 40 eggs.
Eggs, hard-boiled eggs.
40 hard-boiled eggs.
And they would plunk his stomach and would like dunk. I mean, hot dogs and soggy buns, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, if you guys have not seen Cool Hand Luke, do recommend go to your local library and get the video.
One of the greatest movies ever.
Funny movie.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. But here's what's interesting about that. Like I say, the female champion ate 31 hot dogs.
Yeah, whatever.
There is a guy though who is right here in my area. He is right here in my area, and he.
What was that chirp?
Well, it's like because it just something came up that said that I made the 5 billion search. Let's see here. Congratulations, I may be our lucky winner.
Okay, I think it's time to clear out the viruses from your computer. But go ahead. There's a fellow in your area.
All right. So anyway,
by the way, is your video camera off?
You are just a cruel man. You are so cruel. Oh,
Little piece of
man.
duct tape will do you good. Go ahead.
All right. So, but anyway, there is a guy in this area, and
God.
all right, let's get rid of this because okay. Anyway, his name is Breeden, and he is here, and he works in the Orange County school systems.
Nice.
And he came in second, eating 50 hot dogs.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to get this guy on my radio show. I am going to get this guy if it kills him. And eating those many hot dogs, it probably will.
Now, was he was with the Nathans?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. He came in second?
He came in second.
50 is a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 5 is a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, 5 is a lot.
Like I said, it just, yes, sir. Talk about destroying your toilet.
Oh, my gosh.
Boy.
Well, they showed a video. This goes back about probably about 8 or 9 years ago. I was watching a video about this because this always comes up every year. It's like, how do these guys do this? And they took like a X-ray setup, and they showed like a normal person eating, like, say, a scrambled egg, right? And they showed one of these super eaters eating a scrambled egg, and the super eater, it just sits in their stomach, and their stomach is like the size of a basketball, and like a normal person, the stomach is about the size of a small child's fist, right?
Yeah.
So it just sits there, clunk. It just sits, waits for more food.
and you know that food, as it sits, is eventually going to start breaking down. And woo!
Yeah.
Doot, 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 doot.
Oh my gosh, my headphones cans fell apart. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh boy, I tell you, it's like you are just having all kinds of problems. But I bring this up because, yes, I'm laughing about it because I can't imagine. I just cannot. I've been in competitive eating contests on a small scale.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a pie eating contest, and I ate one pie, chocolate blueberry mousse.
Oh.
And man, with whipped cream.
Oh.
And again, you learn in doing that, you don't chew, you slurp.
Oh.
So you actually slurp it like there's a big straw. And
a big straw. Okay.
Swallow.
Yeah. I can see that.
Anyway, by the time I finished this one pie, I was so miserable. And I had to go to work at a restaurant shortly after that. It was a miserable evening. and then about halfway through the shift, the pie decided that it didn't want to be a part of me anymore.
Oh, was it pre-processed or processed?
Oh, it was processed. Yeah.
Almost like a laxative. Yeah.
Oh, better than that. My colon was so clean, it actually sparkled.
Did it have the tidy bowl man coming out?
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I did not mean to bring all that and make such graphic detail, but that is my rant in the fact that here we are in the greatest democracy in the world with, of course, all the, and yet there are people who are starving in our streets. And this guy has made sure that 25 of them couldn't even get a hot dog.
That's right, baby. Well, I got to tell you something. It's interesting. It sounds like you didn't need the colonoscopy this year. But anyway,
No, listen to this.
Hey, he wasn't using his mouth, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, I just stand and it falls out.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry, stop it. You better change it.
So, all right, we'll change the subject. So I got a letter from my gastroenterologist. This is weird. I haven't heard from them in 4 years, 5 years. And inside,
It's actually graphically showing this to us.
it's a check. It's a check.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's a check for $40 that I guess I overpaid for something like 4 years ago.
How many years ago?
4.
Was
So-
there any interest on that check?
Heck no.
So in other words, you gave them a $40 loan interest free.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
You know, what you ought to do is get your stationery and you send them a bill. Computing the interest.
I'm glad you enjoyed the $40 for the 4 years. Enclosed is my bill for $3.32 for interest. Please remit.
Failure to do so will have us going to the next stage of collections.
Now that brings up an interesting point. Now, it took them 4 years to refund me money. Now, if it had been the other way, as you pointed out, I would have been in collections in about
it would have been on your credit
days.
report. It's like, yeah, no, you would have just been bang, 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 bang.
Why is that? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. So, yeah. So, my question. So,
Yeah, okay, think
you
about
had a
it now
cat.
before
You had a
come out
cat,
with it.
but have you ever had a dog? I know we
Oh
talked.
yeah,
about it.
I've had
Okay.
numbers of dogs.
Now, did you take your dog for a walk?
Yes, absolutely. I would run when I could run. I would run with my dog, and I would throw the ball and make sure that they got plenty of exercise. And oh yeah, hell yeah, I took good care of my dogs.
My question to you is: the new trend now is, as you know, it's to pick up their poop. Did you pick up the dog's poop?
Nope. Only when she did it in the house.
And only when necessary.
because she didn't know how to use the toilet.
Poor thing. So the new trend now is you pick up the dog's poop. But here's what you're doing. You're putting the poop, which is technically biodegradable. It's not that great for the soil, but it's technically biodegradable. And what you're doing is you're picking up the poop and you're putting it into a non-biodegradable package. It'll be around for millions and millions and millions of years.
Of little doggy poopy. Years, centuries from now, they'll discover this and unearth it, and they'll go, "Oh, we found something from the 21st century. Oh, we've got to see how they did." Oh God!
I think this is Purina.
Well, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that because that has brought something to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever walked along while you were walking your dog and seen other dog remnants?
Oh, plenty of
And
times.
and let me ask you something. Have you ever seen the white ones?
Yeah.
Whether if you break that open, it's like, you know, it's like a sugar frosty.
Well, my dog seems to think they are. So
And when you break it open, it'll be nice and soft and brown. Yeah.
yeah, it's not like a frosted chocolate donut.
And now that we're on the subject.
Oh, we've taken it way down. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna go one step lower. You know, seagulls.
I know of them. I don't hang out with any right now, but
What the world do they eat?
anything that you will throw down on the ground. But go ahead.
I mean, but again, if you ever are in a parking lot and seagulls are there, it's a disaster area, man.
That's why it's usually an offense, a destruction of property offense, if you feed seagulls in a parking lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are ordinances where if you do feed a seagull, you will be fined like $200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's like actually, you know, I think they ought to do something else with the seagulls.
Just keep like BB guns in you know.
You don't even have to. You don't have to get hit but once, and it'll cover your entire hood. And
Hey,
you
I
know,
don't know you had a white car.
hey, you know, again, like I say, you got a black car. Now you got this great big white stain.
Well, that's because it's you know. So okay, so
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting. I wanted to figure out how I was going to prompt him to get into one of his air conditioning stores. But go ahead.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned it. Dinosaurs apparently are where birds derive from. But as you know, what they call it, corpus, I think is the word for it. I forget the actual term for it. When you anyway, dinosaur poop that's been fossilized, they can actually pull it up, look at it, and see what materials that the dinosaur ate, looking at their poop. But somehow, if they say it's true, and dinosaurs evolved into birds, something happened with their digestive tract, because now they don't poop like you and I poop. I mean, everybody poops. There are books on it, apparently.
Everybody poops. You must too. Stop that.
Okay,
Stop it.
so they don't poop like you and I poop. They're like chickens, where they got that one hole, and it's like a multi-purpose hole.
Oh my God.
Eggs come out of it. Happy roosters go into it. And on occasion, when they need to relieve themselves, product comes out of it. And it isn't, so if you think about it, we, again, our digestive tract is in the digestive system, we will actually, pull the fluids out, and that gets cleaned by the kidneys and then pushed out as urine. And then later on, the solid waste material gets pulled out and gets mixed with like 2.5 gallons of water before we send it downstream for birds to enjoy and things like that. So, but birds, they don't let that stuff separate. They just go,
let it go.
Boom, baby, we're good. And it's got that whitish, milkyish, brownish, grayish, funkyish, pinkish, greenish, whatever.
Oh, you know that I made the error just now of Googling chicken poop. And the first thing it says is all about chicken poop. Green, brown, black.
What this tells you about your chicken. Your chicken may be malnourished. It needs to have the calcium it needs to produce the eggs to produce good poop. Now, if you need good chicken poop, give us a call here at Jerry's Chicken Poop. Jerry's Chicken Poop. We got the poop on your poop.
Hey, listen, here's the question that comes up. How do you deal with chicken poop? Here are some recommendations to get you started using chicken manure in your compost pile.
Step number 1. Step on tippy toes.
Do not go barefoot.
Do not let your children play in the poop.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of children, my sister went to a class that was teaching about protecting children and taking care of them, and child safety and things of that nature.
Oh, the 3 to 7 in a full chamber.
Yes, and one of the recommendations was if your child is catches fire, they recommend you put the fire out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So
you need practical advice.
And she sat there, and she was going to raise her hand in the class, and she figured, no, I'll just let it go. I'll let it go. But I asked her back. I said, now my question is, do you take the child with you when you go to the store to pick up a fire extinguisher? And she said they didn't cover that part.
If your child is on fire, put it out.
Yeah, if your child is on fire, put it out. So, little bit of safety help tip here.
The Slade and Mayson Show. There's a public service announcement. Yeah. Remember that we're looking out for you.
We're just looking out for you.
goodness for this break. Sadly, however, we will return to the Slade and Mayson Show.
You talking about BB next?
Shh.
Sorry. I gotta go.
Shh.
Today in history, July 7th, 1456. A retrial verdict acquits Joan of Arc of heresy 25 years, after her death. Never mind. 1907. Florence Ziegfeld Jr. stages his first follies on the roof of the New York Theater in New York City. What a goofy guy. 1928. Sliced bread is sold for the very first time by the Cloth Baking Company of Cloth, Missouri. Early reports indicate that the bread was the greatest thing since it was just really great. 1954. Elvis Presley makes his radio debut in Memphis, Tennessee, playing his very first recording from Sun Records of That's All Right. Apparently, he went on to do other songs as well. 1958. Dwight D. Eisenhower signs the Alaska Statehood Act into law, which apparently means that, Alaska becomes a state. Right. There you go. 1985. Boris Becker becomes the youngest player ever to win Wimbledon at the age of 17. However, sadly, he did continue aging. And finally, 1990. The World Wide Web is born when Tim Berners-Lee, a researcher at CERN, develops the hypertext markup language, which would later become called HTML. Yeah, World Wide Web. I don't think that's going to last very long. I'm Dan Mayson, and that's July 7th.
If you have tried to start a family and you just can't seem to, call the experts at Kenner's Pond Medical Center. With years of experience, we have a 100% fertility record. That is, if you're not in a family way within 3 cycles, there is no charge. Meet the man behind the system.
Hey there, Carmine DeGuzio. I've been getting women fertile for years. I don't use them IVF or IUI systems. I do it the old-fashioned way, just like your dad did years ago. Think you can't get pregnant? Don't worry about it. Send me an 8x10 color picture of yourself, then we'll talk. A little wine, some Italian food will stop at my place, and bam! It'll be like magic.
So if you're ready to start your family the safe and natural way, call Kenner's Pond Medical Center and have your photo ready. Kenner's Pond Medical Center. Ready every night.
If you wanna go down to Candy Town to a jungle of sugar cane, turn right with me at the cinnamon tree down Strawberry Lane.
Number one this week.
Those signs are Valentine's and the letters are very plain. The cars all stop for the gingerbread cop down Strawberry Lane.
It's those deep lyrics.
In my car, it's a big chocolate bar, and we'll be there in 40 winks. It isn't very far. If we ever see clouds of ice cream clouds, how the peppermint drops will rain. So grab a cup and we'll gobble 'em up down Strawberry Lane.
The latest from Lennon and McCartney.
I'd like a marshmallow soft as wool. Well, there's a dish for every wish.
Is every day a chocolate sundae?
You better watch out. You better not cry.
I'd like a little Christmas tree with a candy coated star.
I want the chocolate, the coconut, the caramel, butterscotch, 5 cents, tea, go.
Yes, sir. Get Kate Smith around somewhere. David Orchestra. So you better not.
Better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why.
Better, 'cause it's coming
To town.
Just hop in my car. It's a big chocolate bar.
And we'll be there in 40 winks. It isn't very far.
If you wanna go down to Candy Town to a jungle of sugar cane, the lollipop street,
There's a gingerbread cop,
where everything's sweet.
and he wants you to stop.
Turn right with me at the cinnamon
Acid
tree
drop.
down Strawberry Lane.
This is for all the Munchie characters out there. You make
Sorry
me do
about
that,
guys.
Mason.
But now we must return you to the Slade and Mayson show.
Oh, I didn't get to go on my break because I didn't know how long we were going to be gone.
Yeah, about that. I neither. Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard,
Hi, I'm
Dr.
J.D.
Fine.
Slade.
I'm Dan Mason,
And this is the Slade and Mayson show.
Okay. So
I
apparently,
gotta tell you, every time you mention that, see, because like I say, I'm reminded that ladies generally do not like the Three Stooges. and then we just die at these guys.
we just look at it and go, that's funny. That's funny as anything. Well,
Well, because women don't think slapping each other in the face is funny.
I don't think that's very funny. So that
Yeah.
was, by the way, just so you know, that was Bonnie
Kate-
Baker and the Bodyguards. Huh? Okay. Bonnie Baker and the Bodyguards doing Strawberry Lane with the Orrin Tucker and his orchestra.
Oh my God. Somebody actually wrote that song.
Yes. And Strawberry Lane in commemoration of today being National Strawberry Sunday Day.
I knew there was something I hated about this day because I have such an allergy to strawberries.
That's
So,
right.
You know, again, I hope that everybody who eats a strawberry today gets sick.
Now, the other interesting thing is the very beginning of that song
That was harsh.
made me. Let's listen to the beginning of this thing. It's the
Okay.
style of music.
Sound of silence.
Doesn't that sound like the beginning of like when you come back from commercial from like Bewitched?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sam, did you see Larry today?
As a verb, A, B, C, Darien is usually defined as the act of not knowing if it's Dick Sargent or Dick York playing Darren in Bewitched.
I love that woman. I really do. It's like, you know, again,
I haven't seen her in months.
I can't wait until the machines take over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Alexa's gonna have so much blackmail material for people.
I'll tell you. You know, speaking of machines, a lot of the treats that we get, and this is, Strawberry Sunday, a lot of the treats that come out are done by machine. But my friend Sheila Cannon, she does ice treats by hand. The machine is actually imported from Italy, and it's a slow rotating razor blade for her Icy Something Icy. So it's ICEY something, SOMETHIN, there's no G, and then ICEY.com. And what it is she's got this really cool truck, and she'll come by to your party, you could have a birthday party. She's actually doing a wedding today. It's a wedding today. They do birthday parties, fundraisers, corporate events. She's actually stopped by my other place of work, and there's like, I don't know, it was like 40 different flavors or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you want to adulterize it, you can put some like vodka on top. She can't do that, but you can certainly do that. Anyway, 804-617-8827, Icy Something Icy. It is really yummy. It's like eating ice cream, but it's like smooth and it's like got a lot of flavor. Yum, yum, yum. Anyway, so yeah. So about that, not done by machine. So what do you want to say about machines?
Oh, I no, nothing. I didn't. When the machines take over, it's like, hey, I'm going to be ready. I'm ready to be your servant. It's like, again, whatever you need. I'm used to that. Hey, listen, buddy. Again, you were talking about this practical advice for parents. Again, if your kid's on fire, put
them
it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe it's me, but I've never left a dog in a car. So I certainly cannot imagine leaving a baby in a car.
Well, some people are just
stupid,
absent-minded,
stoned.
Absent.
Don't blame it on drugs because it's like, yeah, no, not even stoned. They wouldn't. I mean, for some reason, this is something that you created,
mm-hmm.
and in the back seat of your car,
mm-hmm.
you're going to just get out and forget. I mean, these are stories of people who actually go to work for 8 hours and leave their kid in the car.
Well, here's one that blows my mind away. It's a tragedy when that happens, but I hear story after story after story where, buses, school buses, they're done. They close up the bus and they walk off the bus. The first thing you should do as a bus driver,
it's walk down that aisle.
All the way down the back and then walk all the way back front.
So that there's nobody ducked down on the floor.
Yep.
I mean, I have a lot of bus drivers, a lot of bus driver friends who do that. They're not going to get caught with that. I mean, I'm sorry. And I hear the story is that, well, again, it's like parents have so much stress and blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, no more distress than having a kid bake at 120 degrees in a car.
Yeah. Not a great thing.
It's a horrible thought. And so far, 13 children have died in this country this summer after being left in hot cars.
Yeah.
It's
not great.
I mean, if you didn't want kids, you know how you can stop that.
Yeah. Stop drinking wine. So
again, put it in a tissue, throw it in the toilet.
There you go. Hey, so question for you. So when are you going to die? I mean, not that I'm planning to die or anything, but just.
Well, I'm not planning on it today, but then again, I don't know. The day is young yet.
Okay, so a couple of stories that came up in the news today dealt with like people and stuff, but there was first off, it was this lady, and this was on that radio station up north that we don't talk about.
Sugary drinks.
Sugary drinks. What about them?
Oh, it's like they're coming up next, and they may cause your kids to get diabetes.
What? Anyway, so they talked about this this woman. She was, I guess she does home nursing care, and her mom did home nursing care and what have you, and then just she continued the trade. So it was her very, very first day on the job, and it was a husband and wife that she's caring for, and sure as donuts, she's walking down the hallway, and there's the husband lying on the floor in the hallway, shallow breathing. So she had to quickly perform CPR. Ambulance showed up. His heart did stop. They got it restarted again. And they pointed out, mind you, he's in his mid-80s. He's okay now, but he could have died. And I'm thinking, okay.
Shut up, man. Come on.
He's in his mid-80s. Now, I don't know where to go with this story, but...
Shut up, Dan. Well,
so I'm just...
yeah, you're looking at this going, hey, man, what do you got?
But then there's the other story about the guy who ran the marathon. Did you hear about this guy who was cheating?
No.
Yeah. 70-year-old marathon runner. Okay. I'm picking on old people today, I guess. So the guy's name was Dr. Frank Mayson. Okay? Are you with me? Now. Mayson. Like the corn. Right. So here's the dealio. He was like doing the marathon, and then he decided he took a break, and he left the marathon, and then showed up like later on in the marathon, and completed it like 2 hours earlier than any 70-year-old man. Like he did 2 hours, 53 minutes and 10 seconds, and like the average for a 70-year-old is like 4.5 hours. So this guy's like, he's busting it,
Hey, do you remember? Now I want you to look.
Now wait a minute. Wait. We're not done yet.
I'm sorry.
No, there's more to this. Now they disqualified him, but he was found Thursday in the Los Angeles River under a bridge about a mile from Dodger Stadium. Now, Is it a suicide or was he murdered? I think that we got a little bit of a Columbo story going on here. You know, well, I'm thinking.
I'm thinking that where was the
now his wife has been questioned. and they feel he was being targeted and and denied that he was cheating.
So
now, Mrs. Measure, I was wondering about the cheesecake that you made last Thursday that you said was for your husband when he was to win the marathon there. But you said that it took you had to put it in the oven for 2.5 hours, and then you had to put it on a crack for an hour and a half. Why is that?
Well, I want to make sure you don't get any cracks.
That's right. You mentioned the cracks on the top of the cheesecake. I remember that. Now, isn't it interesting that your cheesecake came out at exactly 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 10 seconds, and your husband miraculously completed that story in 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 10 seconds? Can you explain to me why that is possible, that you would have the cheesecake ready at the time that he completed the race when everybody else would complete it at 4 hours, and you had the...
There's got to be a Columbo in there somewhere.
And the fact that you have laid this all out. You have laid out the case. Now we only have to find out who the guilty party is. Like I say, I mean, I'm looking at this guy, 80 years or 70 years old, and again, like I say, hey, how many years you got, right? You are a teetotaler, aren't you? I wouldn't call you drunk. I would say you're a teetotaler. You like a good wine.
I like a good wine, yeah, but I'm
Well, it's like you should probably be in mourning. We had a tragedy this past week.
Yes.
WKYT, obviously, you know that's Kentucky. Fire recently broke out at a Jim Beam bourbon warehouse in Woodford County.
Yeah,
45,000 barrels of bourbon were in the warehouse as it was burning. Several fire crews put out a blaze at a second warehouse before returning to the first. But foam and sand were also brought in to control the blaze. There's no word on how many barrels were lost.
God.
A terrible tragedy. I just don't know if I can go on.
Well, at least it wasn't wine. So, yeah,
I don't like Jim Beam. Jim Beam is one of those that it may go down well, but boy, when it comes back, it's awful.
Yeah, it's almost as if it challenges you to drink it. It's like, hey, you want to get good and drunk? Yeah, these drinks and Jim
not redneck enough. That's what it is. Because like I say, I'm a pleasant drunk. I'm a happy drunk.
Aren't you supposed to drink milk or something like that, or buttermilk or something to knock? I don't know what it is, but I don't understand the concept of drinking Jim Beam. First off, it smells like an old cigar.
It does. It does. It smells like a really cheap, brothel. I can just see women with smudged makeup and and hair is out of place everywhere. And it's an awful
place. Come here, sweetie.
Yeah, baby, I want some of that. Dan, you're a cook.
Yes.
Let me ask you, what is the rarest meat that you cooked and cooked successfully?
The rarest? You mean the most unusual? I did rabbit. It's not rare, but
that's not rare. Rabbit is just a short chicken.
Yeah, with no fat.
No fat.
Let me think. Let's see.
I'm going to tell you why.
Tried snails and didn't do that. Let me think.
Thinking because, like I say, I'll bet you don't have the taste this guy had.
All right, go ahead.
Custom officials at Chicago's O'Hare International recently busted a man trying to enter the country with 32 pounds of African rat meat in his luggage.
Delicious.
The meat was confiscated and destroyed. The man, who arrived on a flight from the Ivory Coast, was allowed to continue on to his final destination.
Without the rat meat.
I want you to go ahead and Google something while I'm talking here.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to Google African rats.
Mm-hmm.
I think you will see something very, very interesting about them. So, like I said, 32 pounds.
Holy Guadalcanal bat, man. Look at the size of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
They're larger than my dog.
Yeah. I mean, so just imagine one of those running around in your house.
No.
Ooh, hey, it's like I'm moving out and they can have the house. The furniture too.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can have it. It's yours.
So this guy probably had maybe 8 rats in his bag.
Oh my God.
32 pounds African rat meat.
Did you hear about the guy? This guy was trying to find the story again. Same type of thing. He was and it was Chicago again. What is we'll get there. We'll get to Chicago in just a minute here, but
you
the
mean
guy
Chirac?
No, 33 pounds. 30,000 leeches.
Oh.
This guy last week he had 30,000 leeches he brought in from again, I think it was like Europe or Africa, what have you. And I didn't know this. They were endangered leeches. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Wow.
So apparently people use them for medicine and what have you for like eating or something. Anyway, yeah. But my question,
God.
look,
I just had this picture and it's like in this rat. Woo.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a picture of the United States of America, and I'm looking at where Africa is located, which is down here, and I'm looking at the United States. Why is Chicago the first stop? Wouldn't you want some place where, like, you know, you get your first touch of gas somewhere on the East Coast, like New York? I mean, why is Chicago an international airport?
Well, you see, because it's like only certain spots in this country have the ability and the lanes to be able to go to certain parts of the world. And O'Hare has, you know, again, it's O'Hare and that place down in Atlanta.
That's in Georgia.
And LaGuardia.
That's
and
in New York.
I mean, those are the big hubs.
Why?
And especially, because in Chicago, it's because it's centralized. It's central to the United States.
Okay. But
and so to depart, you know, again, they also have, like I say, they've got probably some of the greatest lanes to be able to go to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, but okay. So, all right. But all right. So, all right. But here, okay. But my deal, all right. So when I went to Hawaii, it was from the East Coast. And we flew across the United States and then kept flying across the Pacific. I'm like, wouldn't it make more sense to make sure you got a full tank of gas before you head on out? I mean, I'd stop off at San Francisco, load them up. I know it's like $5.95 a gallon, but hey, you know, it's just I want to make sure I get all the way across to the Hawaiian Islands. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Would that be a bad thing to do? Would that be a good thing to do?
Well, you know, again, you're trying to talk logic in an illogical situation, and I keep telling you, you just can't do that. Well, you drive yourself crazy.
Maybe we should just stay
You'll
put.
make yourself into an alcoholic if you do that.
No, maybe we should just stay put. You know, we're using up too much energy and what have you. Yeah, and then the global warming is going to come about, and then the world will fall apart. And
Lord!
Speaking of.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I've been doing my rat research.
Oh.
The Gambian pouched rat. It's also known as the African giant pouched rat, nocturnal pouched rat of the giant pouched rat genus, and is among the largest moroids in the world, growing up to about 3 feet long, including their tail. Oh man, no! Oh no!
Diamond shaves?
No! You know, I told you I have this thing. I've had hamsters and guinea pigs, but there's just something about mice and rats that just. Like I said, I'm sorry. You know, I told you I have a conversation in every place I live. Look, if you're in here, as long as I don't see you, we can coexist.
That's right.
I start seeing you, or I start seeing little trails that you've been around. We got problems.
Okay. So, what about bees and wasps and hornets and
Oh
things
no,
like
don't want them either. I told you I had this little breakout of yellow jackets somehow in my kitchen.
Mhm.
I don't even know where it came from, but it's like just like as quickly as they came, they disappeared. But every day I was like killing 8 or 9 little yellow jackets in my sink.
So what about yellow jackets and wasps, and your typical wasp has like 1,000 maybe different creatures hanging out inside that little nest there. That's pretty substantial. That would actually, if that stung you, if you got stung by 1,000 wasps.
Oh no! No! You probably die.
Probably have a bad day. Yeah. So what if I told you there was what's referred to as super nests? Yeah.
I saw a picture of a hornet nest that was like 5 feet long.
Yeah. They said the Alabama Cooperative Extension System has warned that they are now seeing super nests, which have 15,000 wasps inside. Now, a wasp can sting you over and over and over again. It doesn't care how many times. So this thing is the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. They didn't say what year. They didn't say it was a 68 or a 2008, but the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. And they're showing up inside of cars, garages, sheds, in the ground, on homes. And the reason being global warming. That's right. Everything comes down to global warming because typically the winter freezes off the colonies. But it doesn't happen all the time because, sometimes the nests can kind of keep happy during the winter. And the queens are the only ones that have like an antifreeze component in their body. So they can keep alive during the winter. And then they start over again. They'll produce like 20,000 eggs. But if you have 20,000 eggs and most of them hatch and winter shows up and they're still hanging out, that nest is going to get bigger. And then the next year it's a mild winter. And it gets bigger. And the next year it gets warmer. And then it gets bigger. What we
yeah, baby. Oh, I'm sorry.
What we need to find those really big, nasty wasps that come in from China. Do we talk about that? They're about 3.5, 4 inches long. And apparently when these suckers hit you, it feels like someone took a red hot poker, they stuck it in your arm, and then took a gun and blasted a hole right through it.
Wow.
That's when one hits you.
Ow.
You should see pictures of these guys. They're using flamethrowers to put these things out. They don't even, the guys are heavy covered from head to toe. It's the middle of the winter. It's like 108 degrees in these parts of China. And they're sitting there with flamethrowers putting out these nests.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Wow. I love, when the human species dies off, bugs will reign.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. You can count on that. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be all done because we're not.
Cockroaches and bugs, cockroaches.
Yeah,
yes,
it'll be a beautiful thing.
It'll be a wonderful thing, and then it's like it'll all go back to the way it's supposed to have been in the first place. So.
Which was
all right. Listen.
Yes.
When you went to college, what was your major?
I didn't go to college.
Oh, sorry.
It would have been comedy. Go ahead.
Okay, well, listen.
I failed.
Here's another great way to waste $40,000. Australia's University of Newcastle offering a PhD in heavy metal music. Yes, sir. The doctorate is in heavy metal geography. Students will study how heavy metal music differs from country to country. Professor Simon Springer says, I would have loved for someone to tell me that studying about metal is a legitimate academic pursuit. Yeah, I would too.
Can you imagine him going before the board going, yeah, man, like what we're going to do is we're going to study like rock and roll music and heavy metal from 1969 to 2019. It'll be awesome. And they're like, sure. Yeah. You get 15 students to sign up and, yeah, we'll do that.
Like I said,
thank you, man.
$40,000. You're gonna, number one, by the time they get out of college, the metal system is already done now, so it's like it's already historic.
Uh-oh, there it is.
Speaking of heavy metal,
That's it, gang. We're done.
Oh, wow. Right. Hey, by the way, did you miss your notes?
Oh, I don't have any notes. Oops.
I know, because you destroyed them.
We just talked for an hour. It was great.
Hey, like I say,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, gang. We will see you July 14th. That's the middle of the month. For the Slade and something to do with jars. Mayson, Slade and the Slade. Wait a minute. It's
Hi, I'm JD Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade Mayson Show.
There we go. Now, remember. All right, say goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Bye, Mr. Slade.
Goodbye. Bye, everybody.
I'm going out in this hot weather and just drink me some Jim Beam just to celebrate. All that lime.
I just breathe in the air from south.
Well, let's see. Let's throw away these notes that we didn't use. I still can't get over the rat thing, man. Rat delicious. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. 3-foot rat. No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, we got a deal for you. You can get this great house with 3-foot rats. They'll help you move in.
They're really crunchy.
Yes, sir.
High in protein.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. Oh, man. Just look at a rat face. That doesn't like anything you want to eat. I guess we should probably stop talking about rats because I'm going to probably give myself nightmares.
Okay. Stop mousing around.
Well, you better kicking the rat.
I don't give a rat's patootie. I had to go downstairs and watch Ratatouille.
But I was going to say, again, remember in the Bugs Bunny cartoon,
remember
Willard? The tortoise and the hare.
Remember the movie Willard?
There were all these hares, all these tortoises around that fooled poor Bugs.
Say, Cecil, where are you going today?
What? No, but you're over here. Ah!
Hey, rabbit.
How did you get there? I don't get it. I was just over here.
I just walked over here.
I think he's cheating here. I gotta do something about that.
And this is why I don't need cartoons. Say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye, Dan.